this is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of welcoming back to the According to Woods podcast a proud Borican fighter. He will be fighting on December 3rd for Combate Global. He is the one, the only, Jonathan Sepulveda. Jonathan, what's going on?
Everything's doing pretty good, Mr. Woods. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Glad to have you back. And a big shout out to
Thank
our
you.
good brother Dane Donovan for setting this up
Yes,
yet
sir. Yes,
again.
sir. He's the man.
Yes, he is. He is. But I mean, you're the man because obviously we're a day before Thanksgiving, in mainland US and what have you. But going into Christmas, you're cutting weight, man. How has that been?
I've done it before, and I'm doing it once again. I've fought other times, like in Christmas time, and yes, it's very difficult. Everyone eating around you, everyone trying to for you to try their food, especially in Thanksgiving Day. It is a challenge, but how to say no to so much good food? But we managed to do it. We have discipline enough to manage to get through it without missing our weight and eating too much. So we could do it.
Well, you mentioned the discipline, right? Well, where do you cite that from? Because again, temptations are all around you, but you manage to stay the course. So where do you think that comes from? Is it your
Bro,
family?
I mean,
Something that
I signed a contract, and my word is one of the biggest things I have. To me, my word, I said I'm gonna be ready that day. I'm gonna be ready. So, I signed the contract. I'm gonna be on weight for that day, and I'm gonna be fight ready. So there's no reason for me to not be able to do it. As long as everything goes fine health wise and nothing unforeseen occurs, I'm gonna be ready, and I am getting there. I'm feeling good at the point I'm at. So, just discipline, bro. Just work ethic. You got something coming up. You can't miss that. That's not it's not permittable. No way.
No, 100%. Which I kind of obviously, you're training at the Caribbean Top Team Training Center, but a lot of your career was spent on, in the Puerto Rican mixed martial arts scene. A lot of your career was spent in Max
Yes.
FC, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you're basically making your second outing in Combate Global. But what did Max FC do in terms of preparing you to such a big stage as Combate Global?
Man, the events they were putting up here in the island, I'm very thankful. They made me who I am today. They gave me good experiences. I love having the audience, having the Puerto Rican people there to watch you and to cheer for you. That's great, man. Right now I'm very happy at the stage I'm at. Combate Global is giving me the jaula. That's a big stage, and I enjoy fighting there. I fought there once, and I will be fighting there hopefully many more times. But I'll be fighting there in December 3rd. So I like it, bro. It's a nice stage. It's awesome. Everything's great.
Which I mean, you mentioned, the crowd of Max FC, right, and the Puerto Rican crowd. Obviously, the fights are. I'm assuming they're happening in the set of Combate in Miami, right?
Yes, yes.
So, what is that adjustment like? Having for the majority of your career, having such a proud, feverish audience, and like
I like it. I
no.
love I love the audience, bro. That's I call it gasoline, That's really what gives me fuel to burn. I love people screaming, being there, feeling anything that happens. If you slam the person, if you get slammed, whatever happens, they could literally feel it, see it, hear the hits. It's a little more, it's not the same as watching it on TV. So I've had that experience. That's a blessing to me to have so many people I that that want to see you progress in your career and literally get the chance to be there with you, seeing it happen. As it's happening, that's great. Right now it's a little different. Right now we're fighting in a studio where we don't have audience. Obviously we understand pandemic caused this and other reasons, but it's awesome too. I mean, like last time I fought, I saw people sending me pictures, and they're all gathered together in different houses. and different places just together to watch your fight. And obviously, they're not there with you seeing it in person, which is awesome. But just having them, everyone watching you live, that's intense. They're there with you. They're not close by, but they're still with you. And I appreciate all that support I've always gotten from people. So Max FC gave me a great experience. It developed me, is where who made me who I am today. With all the past MMA experiences here in Puerto Rico that I lived. But now at the level I'm at, it's a little different because we don't have that audience, but it's still very intense. I mean, having a camera in front of you equals
Yeah.
having all your family or all your the people having them at home watching you live. So it's basically the same. You don't hear them, but they hear you. So I enjoy it the same, bro. I'm just making the best out of each experience, and I love what I do. So I'm really having a blast.
No, 100%. And it's a different dynamic, right? Having that feverish crowd and what have you. But like the set, to me, unfortunately with UFC, right? Nothing against them, but they had Fight Island, man. You're from an island. My mom's family is from an island. You would think that they would do something island special. And one thing the UFC has done, for better or for worse, is make every arena, no matter where they are in the world, look exactly the same, right? So one thing that Combate Global does, as well as what is it, PFL, right? I love the entrances, man, and the Combate does it great. Where you have your face on an LCD screen, LED screen as you're walking to La Jaula. I think that's amazing. Now, is
Carrying
that
your flag with you, that's pretty
yeah,
intense. That's pretty intense. I agree
yeah,
with you.
absolutely, and shout out to Scott Hirano, who does all the photography for Combate,
Scott,
because
shout out to you, Scott. You're the best guy behind that camera, bro. You do a great job. Hoping to see you soon again. Waiting to see you soon again.
absolutely. And one thing that he does capture, if you've seen and followed Combate, Jonathan himself, or any other fighters on that roster, the flag, right? The representation of the flag is is a welcome occurrence where maybe it wouldn't be so much in other organizations. So that's a pretty cool caveat to have.
It is, it is, it is. I enjoy it all.
So, in terms of your opponent, first off, like in terms of your fight cap thus far, were you able to get like a good 6 weeks in? Like, when did you know that this fight
Matter
was
of
happening?
fact, this fight where we have coming up on December 3rd, we knew 5 weeks before.
Okay.
So we've had basically 5 weeks. I mean, I've always been training, just ups and downs in the training, things that happen sometimes, an injury or whatever. But, we've always been constant from the last fight. We've continued training. So, just 5 weeks I think is plenty time to get ready. So we got the offer and we said yes, and 5 weeks later you're gonna see me in that cage. So
That's as good as gold, and it's the road to oro that leads you to the La Jaula, right? Now, in terms of keeping yourself consistently motivated, right? Because you were saying, sometimes injuries happen, or just being able to stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? And that's kind of a trope with a lot of guys and girls, right? Not just in MMA, but sporting in general. But I mean, again, like that's a different kind of dynamic, right? So, what is it that keeps you motivated in those times where maybe a fight isn't happening, or obviously COVID and what have you? What keeps you
actually, what
motivated?
motivates me when I don't have a fight coming up is when my training partners have fights coming up. I do train with a lot of amateurs that have been having experiences lately, and they have some upcoming experiences. I've been coaching the Puerto Rican team who's gonna be representing Puerto Rico in the EMAF in January. So I've been a coach for the team. I've been helping them out, helping them with sparring, helping them with grappling, getting ready, conditioning. I've been part of it all, and that really motivates me to help others and help them who are my training partners who can represent Puerto Rico greatly, and they will. I know they will. So that's a big motivation to me, man. Obviously, it's not just me. It's we're a family. We're all a group. So if another training partner, if anyone else I know can get a fight, can be active, we have the same compromise to help them. then they would have to help me. So that really keeps me busy and helps me big time, as in staying fight ready.
No, 1000%. Which I mean, does that give you a different dynamic? Sometimes a lot of times when you're in fight camp and in a fight, you can't see nuances to the game. Right now, having kind of a bird's eye view, especially from a coach's perspective, does that give you a little bit more of an appreciation for?
Definitely, definitely. It helps you see things differently and really understand the fighter's position a lot more when you're seeing it from outside. Sometimes you want the fighter to do something. It feels totally different, the outside and the inside. Sometimes you hear instructions, sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes you can follow instructions perfectly. And me being able to coach some other kids, I've been coaching them in sparrings. I coached a whole bunch of our guys recently at some fights, and the experience I'm gaining as a coach, that's great, and I'm understanding a lot of things that maybe I didn't understand in the past, and the experiences my coach have been giving me to be a coach and to coach others has helped me greatly grow. I believe not only as a coach or a person, a human being, but also as a fighter. Even though it's been coaching, it helps me as a fighter too.
No, 100%. It's cool that you just have different angles of the same concept of fighting. I think it's absolutely tremendous, and kudos to you for assuming that role.
Yes, yes, yes. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's what I love to do. It's a fight game. It goes hand to hand. I mean, I'm not gonna be fighting the rest of my life. So if I could help others to pursue their dreams and help them reach them, I'm gonna do it.
No, 1000%. Which I gotta ask, you have you given? I mean, you're still pretty young now, or what have you? We heard Daniel Cormier have like, I'm gonna fight until I'm 40. Do do you have this kind of timelines, or is it just as long as I feel good, whatever
I
I can
think
do?
as long as I feel good up to now, I haven't been damaged much in fights. I haven't taken like a lot of damage, let's say. So that's a big factor. Obviously, my family and my health are a priority. So I love doing the sport and I want to continue to do it as long as I can. I can't put a time frame. I could assure you, I'm always gonna fight to do my best at staying in the game as long as I can. I don't believe I believe that you could break some statistics. Some people maybe say 40. Everyone's different. Everyone feels different. If I eat healthy, stay healthy, live healthy, if I could do it over, I don't have a number, but as long as I feel good, I'm gonna continue doing it. I don't have any plans in retiring for now. So let's just keep doing what I love and enjoy every process of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with a 9-3 record right now, you are in your prime. So, uh, may that window of retirement be way, way, way in the
Pretty
future.
far away.
Well, speaking of the future, you can appreciate the future if not giving valor to the past and even the present. Which I got to ask you, in terms of the Puerto Rican fight scene, right? Because we mentioned Max FC and training your amateur fighters and teammates. Um, through the COVID situation, like what's been the sentiment? Were you able to kind of have things open up or train? Like, what has it been?
At the beginning, it was pretty hard. Obviously, gyms closed and everything. Basically, everything was closed up. So it was a process. Me and my personal life or career, let's say, I always stayed training. I have a little, I call it a gym at my house. It's really a room of the house. Many years back, I conditioned it. It has mats, it has equipment. So I just stay busy. But like in the scene in Puerto Rico itself, it hit us pretty hard. Like the MMA scene got affected because we haven't had much activity going on since COVID. So it's starting now. It's coming back. So hopefully it'll continue to progress where everyone could get to fight. Hopefully, we want people to fight locally and internationally too. But like some of these amateur fighters, they have to start fighting other local guys, and then they could start climbing the scene. So we need fights here to start occurring soon.
Which I it's kind of crazy because like you're training this next batch of fighters, right? That are going to go out into, the state of Puerto Rico, the island of Puerto Rico, and internationally. You are a bit of a pioneer in terms of Puerto Rican mixed martial arts. Is it kind of cool that now, where you maybe at the beginning of your career you didn't have as many training partners, or that's a struggle even here on mainland, getting people your same weight, same kind of experience level. Now you've got all of that, and you're almost ushering them out into the world and like be free.
It's an awesome experience. I would say we still have a lot of developing to do. There is a lot of new potential fighters. But you know how it is. You know, if they're a fighter after how many fights, after how many experiences, there's a lot of talented people, a lot of talented kids. Some of them make a fight or two and never fight again. Maybe it's not their main priority. So it's like everything starts getting filtered out. So at the end of the day, from 10, 20 students, five, three, two, one, it gets filtered down to so little that I know we have some more work to do. It's not like I do have a lot of training partners. The place where I train, Caribbean Top Team, does have a variety of fighters, and I do have different styles to train with. I do have different guys to train with, but it's not like Puerto Rico's full of amateur fighters already, which is the mission. We want, amateurs and pros. We do have, I'm not saying we don't have, we do have amis all around and pros all around. There's some people that you could keep your eye on, and they're gonna be making some noise very soon from my academy and from other academies. I give faith of that, but like we still have a lot of work to do. So MMA scene in Puerto Rico still, as in other parts of the world, still has a lot of progress to be done. We're on the right track, but we just have to keep working hard to get more people and have diversity of training partners and gyms and etc.
No, that I mean, but that's the thing. It happens everywhere. Even places like Midwestern, United States or East Coast, right? You have a lot of wrestlers, right? But there's not so many strikers, and then trying to develop the wrestlers into strikers and vice versa, so they could be well rounded. So everybody has a formative state, and I'm just glad that you guys are kind of on the right track. You guys and girls on the right track with even you, as far as you kind of parlay your career, there's so many people that are watching you, and we mentioned the crowd, but also burgeoning fighters themselves, and you're kind of a beacon of hope. You're the la luz, to them, where everything could be darkness seemingly.
It makes me proud that a lot of people that I know tell me that they've known the sport of MMA because of me, or that I'm the first fighter they know in person, or it's really I'm proud and happy that I've been able to be part of the progress of the beginning of MMA here in Puerto Rico. So like in the city of Isabela, that's where I live. That's the city where I live. A lot of people didn't know of MMA, period, and now a lot of do, and they know they have a representant, which makes them proud. So I'm happy for that, and I know in the future we'll have many more.
Absolutely. Which, I mean, not limiting, but in terms of when you started in MMA versus where you currently stand, especially in Puerto Rico specifically, what are some of the biggest differences that you've seen, from when you started to right now?
I think MMA is a very evolving sport, and every time amateurs get better and better. When I say amateurs, I'm talking about less experienced people. An amateur can be better than a pro. No, there's nothing against it. I just mean, obviously, an amateur is the process where you start and then you go to pro. When we started, we had to go pro like right away. There wasn't a lot of fights coming up, which is still the case nowadays. But I've seen amateurs nowadays have so high levels with, they've been very experienced. Maybe even though they haven't been able to fight a lot, but they have the experience. The scene has grown here in Puerto Rico, and there is a lot of amateurs who can fight real good. So I think that's the difference. But we've always had good fighters. When I started, there was great fighters that I followed. The MMA scene when I started was pretty active. It's then that it loosened I say the MMA scene, as in Max FC was having events constantly and all that. So I had the opportunity to look up to others and want to, be in that scene. And I was able to be there. I was able to be the champ. They haven't done events in quite a while now. So, but hopefully they'll be back doing events someday. And so in that aspect, I mean, it was pretty active when I started. That there was many events and many scenes, and now we don't have many, but we do have a few events going on once in a while. So there's been some changes. Levels have gone up, activity has gone down, but all in all, it's a tough sport that we continue to go through.
Absolutely. Which I guess, what is your why? What is your why? Why you continue to do this? I mean, it's not easy. There's easier ways to make a living theoretically. So, what is your why that keeps you training all throughout whatever's going on?
I don't like answering questions with another question, but why not? I mean, I feel good. We feel we can throw some punches. We could do a little more in the sport. So why not? I mean, my why is it's challenging. It's one of the hardest, one of the toughest, one of the things that I've done that most discipline takes. So it makes me a better me. It makes me a better person, a better father, a better everything. It just proven to myself that, like I said before, we have a weight to mark on the scale a certain day. We need to be ready. Why not? Why not be ready? Unless something did happen, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm willing to go through the sacrifice, put in the work. I'm willing. I know everything. There's a price to pay, and I'm willing to pay the price. So the why is my motivation. So that's why I say, why not? Let's do it. I feel good. It makes a better person out of me. So that's really, I love what I do. I just love it. So that's why I say, why not?
I like it, and that's. I mean, that was a hell of a rebuttal. You didn't answer me with the question. Come on, you know. But obviously, Jonathan, as you head into La Jaula on December Friday night, December 3rd on Paramount Plus is where you can find Combate Global. Uh, there have been many people and brands that have helped you along the way, both professionally and personally. So take as long as you need, my man. Let's get some shout outs out of the way.
All right. First of all, I want to thank my people from Kai Beach Bar. I told you last time. I'm waiting for you to come visit the island. I want to take you out to eat there. You're gonna love it. It's right in front of the beach. It's a touristic area. I mean, Hobos Beach in Isabela. Remember that Kai Beach Bar. So shout out to my people in Kai. Um, I also have Matias Auto Tint. He's my man. He got us all in Isabela set up with our auto tints, and he does businesses tinting too. He always takes care of me for the fights. He helps me out. So shout out to Matia. Gracias, papi. Israel. Gracias. I have my friend Javi Piña from JB Spot. He got his business here in town. He has the best piña colada you could find in Puerto Rico. So when you come visit us, make sure to go to JB Spot. Saludos, Javi. Gracias, brother. We have Gemelos Lunch. Gemelos, another good friend. He has a food truck, which he has the best food over in town. You go to the town area, and he's the man. So I'm very thankful for his help always too, and he's always motivated me. So gracias, Gemelo, brother. So vale. I have my buddy from Translucent Ice. Albert, that he's helped me so much. He's done so much for me. He's a training partner too. He comes and trains with me once in a while, and I'm very thankful for him. So you could check Translucent Ice Company out, and that's the man. I have my boy Diesel Junkie, Danny, gracias, hermano. I'm very thankful for him and his help too. He has a diesel service company here in Puerto Rico. He's one of the best. He does great job, and I'm very thankful for his help. I'm part of the Isabela Muscle Car. Has always also motivated me, and who always is a sponsor. So thank you, Hector. Saludos, Papo. Gracias. I'm very thankful for the whole club of the Isabela Muscle Car too. I also have La Cantina de Chino. Chino, gracias, hermano. Saludos. Bendiciones. I'm very thankful for him too. And tengo a Pantoja, saludo, brother. Me dijeron que me diste la mano también, gracias, agradecido siempre. He has, I think, auto part here in Isabela. I'm very thankful for his help too. He's a buddy also. So there's a lot of people that have helped me. I'll be mentioning more as it goes. Saludo al licenciado Eggy, mi hermano también. Gracias por la ayuda siempre, la motivación. Um, Bro, I'm bilingual. I do a little in English, a little in
Yeah,
Spanish. You
love
know
it.
that I talk to you in English, then I say a shout out in Spanish. That's how it goes, but we gotta mix it up. So, saludos y bendiciones a toditos. Gracias por todos los que me apoyan en la carrera. Voy a dar todo de mí, voy a dar lo mejor y venimos a traer esa victoria para que Isabela y Puerto Rico podamos celebrar. Gracias a todos, Corillo. Los aprecio mucho, los quiero mucho. Thank you, Mr. Woods. Thank you to the Combate Global Scene for giving me the opportunity. Thank you to my man Dane Donovan. He's been doing excellent work helping me out with a lot of situations. So I'm full of thank yous to give. So thank you everyone from the bottom of my heart. I'm very appreciative.
Well, right back to you, my man, because we thank you for sacrificing so much to basically make sure that your dream of MMA superstardom is fortified. So we thank you for sacrificing everything you do for yourself, for your family, for your community, your daughter, as well as the Isles of Puerto Rico, the beautiful Isles of Puerto Rico,
Thank you. Thank
which
you.
has been through so much over the last few years, but you are proof positive that stars are not meant to be pushed down; they rise to the top.
That's where we go with the why not. Let's keep going up. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep bringing a show for our people and doing the best we got because why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Exactly. And why not go ahead and, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to Paramount Plus, where you can see Combate Global, the Estrellas de Combate Global, especially this one right here, Jonathan Sepulveda, who fights Friday night, December 3rd, are live and on Paramount Plus. And I mean, if
Yes.
you've got an Amazon deal, you get a little bit of a discount for your subscription. And this gentleman right here is worth the admission. So thank you again, Jonathan. It's always a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you guys for joining us here at According to Woods. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Wood podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and even Twitter. Jonathan, you're subscribed, aren't you?
I am. I am. You better all subscribe. I'm going to be watching you.
That's from the man himself. So I can't say any more. But if you don't believe me or Jonathan, I don't know why you wouldn't. He's way scarier than me. But if you don't believe us, well, here's Zeta Zhang to help convince you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe to According to Woods